Highways have turned into small two-lane roads, and the sun is about to go down. I've been in this car for several hours now with someone I just met, going to a place I've never been. Should I be concerned? Where am I going? Well, somewhere around here in the mountains of Yunnan, China, is a village called Xiaba, where the fan who's driving me, along with his father, manage a hotel. Yunnan is supposed to be beautiful, but what is this village actually like? And what will my experience be going there? But right now, it's impossible to tell, because it's completely dark outside. It's time to begin my 7-day stay in Xiaba. A few months ago, I received a message from a fan inviting me to a small village on the southern border of Yunnan province here in China. Usually, I know at least a little bit about where I'm going, but this time, I know nothing. When I arrived in Kunming, the capital of Yunnan, I felt very welcome as soon as I went to the bathroom. We then drove 5 hours through the mountains. Arriving in the dark, I had no idea what I'd see the next day. But when I got up, I was met with a really nice surprise, because this area is gorgeous. So I had to go for a walk and check it out. And frankly, I thought I was going to a rural village, but this feels more like a resort, with beautiful views, paved streets, and hiking trails with lots of nature to explore, all located in a mountain setting with tea shrubs and terraced farming. Beautiful, if you ask me. Then it was time for breakfast, where I was a little late, but they fed me anyway. I guess it was more of a lunch. It turns out in this village, the hotel is kind of important, offering lots of different services and even employing some of the villagers. Which is lucky for me, because that's exactly who I want to meet. There's just so much I don't understand. So I was invited here by this guy, Arthur, who manages the village hotel and speaks English too. But those people in the back, that's Asi and Ai, and they help run the hotel. But there's something special about them. They are Hani, the ethnic minority group that's native to this area, and they've agreed to let me follow them as they gather ingredients from the forest for our dinner tonight. And not just any dinner. Apparently it's some kind of traditional Hani meal, welcoming me to the village. I'm not sure what that means yet, but I'm too busy trying to get through these leaves to think about it. It feels a little like Jurassic Park out here. They gathered all kinds of roots and stems and things I didn't know a whole lot about, but I was curious to see how it all would come together for our meal. And is it just me, or am I filming models? Asi and Ai are really good looking, and they seem to be very comfortable in front of the camera. Like maybe they're local celebrities or something. Oh yeah, here. Once we got down, Asi gave me my camera back and began chopping down this tree. It left me wondering, how big was this dinner going to be? While they were busy collecting this spice off the branches, my face was busy doing something else. Collecting flies. But in this moment, as I was getting to know the two of them, they did something I wasn't prepared for.
살렸어?
6?
렸어.
6. 是吗？
아, ल्या고.
2个我听不懂。
毛哥，跟他说一下。
唱2首歌。
你要唱2首歌。
我们2个对，看一下哪一首歌好用一点，后面。
They will sing a song. 哦，非常好，可以。
我没西巴拉我查出，爸爸你出来爱你诺有你，高路干嘛莫家。
I wasn't expecting anyone to sing today, but it was a nice surprise, especially since they sang in the Hani language, a language I've never really heard spoken, much less put into song before. Back in the village, I found myself in this smoky room, where they had some eerie things on the walls and ceiling. This is where dinner is made, but there still were a few missing ingredients. One in particular. And that's when things got cooking. It finally got to a point where I had to take a break. It's very smoky in there. Whew. And I don't think I was the only one that needed a little fresh air. The process of making a meal like this requires a lot of labor, and I was quite touched by the people from the village who came to help out. Most of all, I was curious what Ashi was thinking. He had taken the lead on preparing food and seemed committed to showing Xiaba in a positive way, but it left me wondering, is this the real Xiaba? I'll have to keep filming to find out. Dinner is now finished, and they brought the food to the village restaurant where it's finally time to eat. And it was surprisingly delicious. Some things were spicy, but never too much, at least for my taste. Mostly, it was just a lot of unique flavors that I had never had before. Then something happened that the introvert in me wasn't prepared for. What is going on? Why all the singing? I wasn't sure what to do, so I gave myself a few simple tasks. Clap, smile, and take turns looking each of the performers in the eye. If only I knew the lyrics, I could sing along. I had experienced the food of Xiaba, but now I wanted to get to know the village on my own. Usually when I go somewhere, I find if I just walk around and observe, it's a great way to get to know a place in a genuine way. Not many folks were walking the street, so I started by filming some of the village cats. Soon enough, I found someone else who's interested in these furry creatures. But when I found a cat on the roof just above us, I helped him see it. As I moved on, I made other observations, like the chicken population seemed sizable, and there were swallows everywhere. This got me thinking about another way to experience this area. Seeing the swallows fly around made me wonder what Xiaba looks like from the air. And with this Atom 2 drone from Potensic, I have a way to do that. So I started it up without a whole lot of expectation. But I was in for a big surprise. Because the view from the air was stunning. And with this particular drone, I was able to do more than just fly around. I captured the land and myself in unique ways. Like this circle shot, this dolly zoom, and a simple pull away, which really gives a sense of the scale of this location. But the weather is changing fast, so I've got to land this thing. Yet seeing Xiaba from above gives me an idea of where to go next. In spite of the rain, seeing those mountains from the air made me want to climb one. And when I made it up there, I was engulfed in a cloud, surrounded by tea shrubs and trees. And that's when I felt this profound sense of peace. I'd only been here a few days, but I felt so connected to the nature surrounding me. I can only imagine what it's like to live here and have all this right outside your door. And then I ran into Asi, so I asked him about it. And of course I had to use my phone to translate.
可以，因为我也一直在外面打工，后面也早觉得在外面不好，因为年纪也大了，后面回来家里面看到父母也慢慢的老去，如果是在这边工作的话，能看到父母，也可以看到家人。 还有，在这边的话，反正就是很开心、很快乐。
Something I found out about Asi that I respect is he's part of a small group of his generation who have experienced life in more urban areas in China and decided to return back to his rural roots. Now, Asi, Ai, and others use social videos to help promote the region and teach their following about Hani culture. In their videos, they often break into song, which explains all the singing around here. I guess I was right about the two of them being very comfortable in front of the camera. And that's when Asi brought me along to meet some of the other people in the village. This is Alibaba, who's lived in this area his whole life. Him and Asi seem to be good pals. And they speak in a combination of both Hani and Mandarin. I sort of just sat there and tried to absorb anything they were talking about. I'm interested to hear how Xiaba has changed in the past few years. That's when Alibaba had this great idea to help me understand.
这个山坡啊，你好好
画一下，他要画一下当时他儿时的记忆是怎么样的。
这个山坡就是这样，就是这样，就是这样。最后就是这个是落头了。
地图，它前面就是一个坡、两个坡、三个坡、四个坡。
对。
现在只保留了这个龙头在水里。
对，这个是落头在水里了。
Then, in the middle of us talking, this kid walked in. I was a little confused what was going on. It turns out Alibaba is the keeper of the village ice cream stash.
不是这个，就是这个啦。哦，好，我的好孙子，去吧去吧去吧去吧去吧。好的，去吧啊。
No wonder why everyone likes him.
你最喜欢什么冰淇淋？
你最喜欢吃什么？
我样样都喜欢吃，
都喜欢。
都喜欢吃。
Then we went on to meet someone else. This is Yanfen, and she's a representative for women in the village.
我叫杨芬，然后我是这个村的妇女主任，然后。
Yet again, I found myself with someone who welcomed me into their home, but I didn't have a very good way to talk to them. Translation apps can only go so far, but I still learned a lot. You might have noticed the colorful outfits that women here wear, and Yafen showed me her collection of clothing and told me about the meaning of the colors and designs of the clothes. Some are meant for specific purposes, like weddings or formal occasions, and others, with their color, can represent the mood of the person wearing it. She was so kind to speak with me, and I was really amazed by the ornate design on all these clothes. The rain kept falling, but we continued to move through the village. Soon I found myself in another smoky room. So I pulled up a chair and tried to fit in. Thankfully, I recognized one other face. This is the woman who was watching the boy who I'd seen a few days earlier playing with cats.
他喜欢猫。
对，他喜欢猫。
It was here that I learned what people do during extremely rainy days. They sit around and simply hang out with each other. And I'm not going to lie, with me there, conversation was not free-flowing. A lot of silent staring across the room. But yet again, I was so grateful for the welcoming spirit of these folks. I couldn't stop thinking about all that ice cream, though, so I went back to see Alibaba.
可以啊。
After I finished my ice cream, we went to the upstairs of his building, and he started to teach me the names of the vegetables in the garden.
这些的玉米啊，
玉米，
对，
玉米，
这个玉米还有
豆子，
对，还有南瓜叶，
南瓜
对
，OK。，
还有其他的各种各样的佐料，都能吃。
And then it was time for dinner at the village restaurant.
搞个小盘子给他喝水嘛。好的，跟你爸爸说，我爸，
After we ate, the music started to play, but something was different this time. I sang along.
我爱你有多深？我爱你有几分？我的情。
As I sang with my new friends and these 3 new fans, I thought about how my time in Xiaba was almost over. I knew so little about this place just a few days ago. Was it really worth it to come all the way out here? The next morning, I pulled the card out of my camera and started reviewing what I had experienced over the past week. And seeing the footage of me do things like gaze out on the mountains, exploring the village, and meeting so many beautiful, kind people. It affirmed something that I already knew. Xiaba was an amazing experience, and totally worth the trip. Preparing to say goodbye to my new friends reminded me of how friendship can bridge a vast cultural divide. And although I have to leave now, I can't wait until the next time I can come back to Xiaba.
麦克赛，下巴欢迎。
快客，你留下来。对面看见我的快客，不高不矮是个好人才。快客的金银珠宝我不要，快客，只要你快客留下来。月亮圆圆天上光，月亮里面有什么？月亮圆圆天上光，只要你快客你留下来。